in that group we learned in that group we learned that we had to have a little more structure. So we're coming to this group, you, with a little more structure that we didn't have in the last group. So in this one, it's highly structured the first hour. In the first hour, it's going to be Daniel and I sharing with you and you taking notes. And if you happen to miss one of these, you'll be able to get the replay. Will be in your dashboard, which you also got an invitation to. So hopefully you get a chance to check that out. So we want to make sure that nobody misses anything. But the live thing, so we do this live with the interaction with you. And I know I'm talking to you here, but I'm also looking at you over there. So if you see me over there, looking over there, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's that's how I see you, is over here. So just so you know, if I break eye contact, I'm actually making eye contact. So we're all on the same page there. So the first hour, kind of structured, no questions and answers. We don't want to lose. We have so much material to go through in that first hour that we don't want to lose anybody. We don't forget anything. So we want to keep that really structured. And then after that first hour, we flow into another hour, and that's when we will unmute. Not that you're going to be muted necessarily, but there might be portions where you're muted in the first section, and then we'll unmute you throughout that for interaction to move through that first hour. When we get to the second hour, everything's unmuted, and it's all about answering your questions and helping you with anything that you need. And it's just not Daniel and I helping, it's everybody helping. So if you can't make it to the live stream, then you can only do what you can do, but you get so much benefit from working with everyone in that second hour that we want to make sure that everybody can, if at all possible, do the live thing. But if you can't, we got it in the bag for you in the members area. And I'd like to see some more people come on. So that is the format. So I guess we're going to have to get going. Let's see here. I'm really excited about how these are going to be the biggest and best people on the planet. We're building St. Paul's Free University from scratch. This is like the foundation that we're building for the Higher Learning Institute. Will come later. It's about a year out, but we're building this foundation to build that upon. And you will all be invited to participate in that, in leadership and in trainings. We'll be monetizing all of your best ideas and those things that you're really passionate about. That's what we're here for. So I've had people ask me, like, why are you doing this? What are you trying to teach us? And we're really not trying to teach you anything. What we're trying to do is find out what that thing is that you are the most passionate about, that thing that really turns you on, and then monetize that and make you the expert in that field. I mean, the undeniable expert. I mean, people, when they're when there's a news event and they want to find an expert in a particular area, the newscasters and the research department will find you, and you will be the undeniable expert in that field. I mean, they'll Google you, they'll find out that you wrote the book on the subject. I mean, that's the first thing right there. And we're going to show you how to exploit yourself as well, so that you're even more likely to get hit by media lightning when certain events turn up that are related to what you're doing. So that's sort of these are gifts of mine that I use for my clients. And now I'm building this team of amazing experts that's made up of you guys. And 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 you all have your areas of expertise right now. I'm not saying you're not experts now, you are. But we're going to raise that up, and we can do that with almost anybody. Really exciting. Any feedback?
You said it in a nutshell, David.
Quite a nutshell, wasn't it?
Well, it's just getting yourself out there and getting some movement going, and the rest takes care of itself. And I've been stagnant for about a year now, especially in the COVID shutdown. And I've been writing every day. I mean, constantly. I've got filled up notebooks, about 20 of them, and it's time to, like I mentioned yesterday, to finalize, formalize, and format and get it out on a platform.
Yeah. And we're providing all of our people with that platform as well. So, and we're gonna supercharge that thing. I mean, Daniel and I have experience and tools that are, normal people don't have. We see people, corporate America, throw a lot of money at things, and it would take, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to do some of the branding stuff that we're doing with you guys, and at no cost to you. Doesn't, it's all included in this. So
and my main interest was your mentioning about the book. And I mean, you have to have something to share. You have to have something to be a funnel for your mission. And the book is the way, as we've spoken about for years. And a lot of it's getting over the fear factor and just getting into consistent action. Like in your blogging, I still check out your blog. It's not as daily as it used to be, but it's still happening.
Yeah. I mean, we have developed the quickest and easiest way to turn out a book, in the world. So we're taking all the pain out of it, and we make it painless because we're all doing this together. So there's that accountability factor. So, but today, the most important day. So I realize that some of you are going to be watching the recording. About more than half of you will be watching the recording, but what we're going to do right now today is really, really hugely important. So, and we have to do this like right away. So I do have a question about everyone. Have they accessed the dashboard inside the members area? Has everybody done that?
No.
We have a 1, 2, 3. Some have not. Okay, so you're going to need to be in that dashboard area. Daniel put a link in the same link that he put, the same email that had the link to this show. There's a link for the members area. You need to log into there because there's some spaces we need to have you fill out some information. So the most important thing we're going to do today is we're going to get you 3 domains. We're going to help you do that. And these domains are, number 1, the first one is your name. Okay, so now you probably already have a name, right? People call you by something, and you tell them, who you are. That may not be your name. It's not going to be your name until you own yourname.com. I use myself as an example. My name is David Masters, and I would have loved to have gotten davidmasters.com, but it wasn't available. But I was able to get David M. Masters. Daniel Schwartz, same thing. Perfect name, can't get the .com. And his middle initial is M as well, but he couldn't get that either. So he had to get his whole name.com, Daniel Mark Schwartz. And now that's how he has to introduce himself, and that's how I introduce him, as Daniel Mark Schwartz. And I'll explain that why in a minute. Okay, that's the number 1 thing we've got to do. So hopefully you are in there. There's a link in there for a search tool to look through domains, and you should be right now lookingforyourname.com. And the second one is
David?
what you do. Yes.
David, I do not have an email that shows a link to the dashboard.
Oh. And whose voice was? Oh, that was Mary.
That's Mary Corcoran.
Okay. Okay, I have Daniel. Thank you for sharing that. Daniel's going to check on that now. Make sure you get that email. What email address do we have?
CorcoranTexas@gmail.com.
I'm looking that up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have. You might need to check your, I'll send it again, but you might need to check your spam folders. And that goes for anybody that didn't
Okay.
get it.
All right. So the second one is whatyoudo.com. And notice that these are .coms, they're not .nets, .orgs, anything else. It has to be a .com. You keep searching until you find a permeation of your name that you can get the .com. And you might have to change your name. You know, if you're Jennifer, you might have to go by Jenny or whatever it takes. I mean, you're gonna have to get yourname.com, and then that's your name from now on once you get the .com. So keep looking for different permeations. The second thing is whatyoudo.com. And in the example in the workbook, which is in the dashboard, I gave the example of plumber. You know, if you're a plumber, it would be impossible to get plumber.com. So you're going to be searching for something else. You're going to come up with different permeations that explain what you do, like you might be a water control specialist, and that .com is available. That, you know, when people ask you what you do from that point forward, I'm the water control specialist, not a plumber. Don't even say plumber anymore. People say, what does that mean? It's like a plumber, but I'm an expert, not your average plumber. Specialist, water control specialist. That's whatyoudo.com. Okay, and then the third one, and this one's, we're here to help you do this. The third one is your product. And like I said, this is going to flow over into the next hour, so don't panic. We're going to help you figure this out. You might not know what your product is right now, but you kind of know what your special gifts and abilities are and what your calling in life is. As you get tuned into that, we will get that little down to your product. And this will be what your book is going to be about as well. So your book is going to be a culmination of whatyoudo.com and your product. So we're not going to, you know, in your marketing, when you are just marketing yourself, you're branding yourself, we're going to be mostly concerned with these two .coms. So it's what your name and what you do. Now here's how you can take huge advantage of this right now. So as you're being having yourself recognized as the expert in your field, you can come up onto a burning building. This happens sometimes, right? You're in the right place at the right time and you witness something and someone sticks a microphone in your face and they ask you two things. They ask you, what's your name? And then they ask you what you do. And then when they introduce you on camera, they say, this is David M. Masters. He's a transfiguration specialist. And maybe I'm just witnessing a burning building. But 100,000 people just looked up my name and what I do. And they're going to go straight to my .coms. How huge is that? You're never going to miss an opportunity like that again, because you'll be prepared in advance for that. Beautiful. So, do we have everybody looking up these three things right now? Because we need them by the end of the next hour, hopefully. Everybody has their name.com, or at least they know that it's available. We're checking the availability to make sure that we can get there. And we'll set that up for you. But you're just looking to make sure that they're available. Like you'll go in the search engine that Daniel has provided a link for, and it'll say whether someone else owns it or not. And if it's not owned by someone else, then we have that. So we're going to want to see these forms filled out on your landing page, not your landing page, your membership page in the dashboard. There are blanks for you to fill these in. So and Daniel can probably see you filling them in when you press the save button at the bottom. So if you already have your name.com, then go ahead and fill that in right now. If you maybe we've done this before, or you had the foresight to get that already, then you can fill in that .com. If you have what you do, put it in that blank and save it as well. And then your product.com. And we'll get interactive in this. So you're going to be, while you're doing a lot of searching right now, we're going to let you go ahead and do that. And Daniel is going to go over a little basic introduction, and he's going to share his screen and show you how to do a blog post, because that's the next thing. We're going to be doing a blog, 500 words every day. Don't panic. We got you. All right. We'll talk more about that when we come back. Daniel, can you show us how to do your blog post with our system?
Yeah, just let me switch us over to the screen share mode. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay, so I believe everybody should be seeing my screen right now. And so once you decide what your websites are going to be, and which we're working on now, and you input it into the form that we made for you in the members area, I'll go ahead and set up the websites for you. We'll get the domains, we'll do all the WordPress and the hosting stuff. And once we're done with that, which if, after you get it to us, it shouldn't take more than half a day to get that set up. And if you guys get it done today, we'll have it set up by tonight. You'll be able to go to your own website and start editing it. So this is going to be a very basic introduction to WordPress. So if you guys have used WordPress before, you maybe don't need to listen in so closely, but I just want to go over kind of the simplest thing that you need to know in order to do your 500 word posts, which we're going to be starting right away this week. So first, to go to your website, I know that sometimes people, like my website here is called Open Off Grid. Sometimes people will type in Open Off Grid and nothing else and search it. And because this is a brand new website, you're not going to find your website on Google or whatever search engine you're using. I know some people find that confusing. So you actually have to type in the full .com to get to your website. So it'd be openoffgrid.com in this case. And then you'll see something like this. It's just a blank website because we just created it. Now, to actually get into the administrative portion of the website, you need to type in one other thing, and that's openoffgrid.com or whatever your .com is /WP-admin. Mine's already filling it in because I've just done it before. In all WordPress websites, this is the way that you get into the backend. And once you log in, you sometimes don't even have to go there again, but at least for the first time, that's what you'll type in. So you press enter, and it's going to take you to a login. And so I'll have sent you, once we get these set up, your username and a password for you to put in here. I'm just going to fill it in with what I already have, and then I'll click remember me so I don't have to log in again for a while, and click login, and it'll take you to the dashboard. So you're going to see something very similar to this the first time you log in. And there's a lot of stuff you can control that you can edit, and we're going to go through some of this throughout the course. But for now, I'm just going to take you right to what you would need to do if you're writing your first blog post that's 500 words. And to do that, all you need to do is up here in the top left, there's a button that says new with a plus next to it. You can click right on that, and it's going to make a new post. So the first thing to do is choose a title for the post. So whatever you'd be writing on, it's going to say my first blog, something like that. And we're going to go in depth in later lessons about how to choose good titles for a blog post, you know, what you should be really writing, But for this week, we just want to focus on people developing the habit of consistent writing 500 words. So you're kind of free to write about whatever you want that's related to the topic. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You'll notice it makes a link for it by itself, so that's good. And then you can just start typing down here. It's very similar to like Microsoft Word or something like that. So, you know, hello, Daniel, you know, dot, dot, dot. Now, if we want to have subtitles in the text, which is a very good practice, what you would do is just either type the subtitle first, so, you know, my subtitle, and then you can go up to here where it says paragraph and click. And we recommend that you use H2s for the majority of what you're writing. Not heading 1, start with heading 2, and if you have subheadings below that, then heading 3. So stick with these 2. So that's your heading, press enter, you can do my next paragraph, and so forth. Now, if you want to bold or highlight or bold or italics, it's the same thing as in Word. You just highlight the stuff you want to bold, click B up here, or Control B if you want to do that. You can italic another section by clicking I. If you have lists, it's very simple. You just click the list thing and, you know, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's basically what we want to cover with the formatting. I guess one last thing is if you want to link to somewhere else, you can click, you highlight the text you want to link. And so like go to Google. Let's do that. And then highlight that and click the ink or the one that looks like a chain. And it'll pop up a little thing. And so in this pop-up, there's 2 things you can do. One is you can search for other blogs that you've written. So like, I believe there's a Hello Word blog. Yeah, so the first blog that came with this was just called Hello World. So you can click that and it's going to automatically link to another blog post that you've written. And linking to other blog posts that are relevant, you know, that maybe explain more in depth something you're talking about here is a very good practice. Another thing you occasionally might want to do is go to an external website, in which case you could just go to the website yourself. So like say I go to Google, and then you can click in the address bar on the top and just copy paste that into here, right? And hit enter, and then that makes that a link. So in this case to Google. Now, as you're writing, you'll notice that there's the word count is shown on the bottom left of the writing area. So this is the thing we want to get up to 500. And there's no upper limit. You can write as much as you feel like you want to on the topic, but the challenge we're setting for ourselves during the course of the initial stage of this challenge is to get 500 words at minimum per day. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you get to 501 and you put a period and stop. You're going to want to actually write something that's coherent. But as far as like a minimum, we're shooting for 500 words per day. The rest of this stuff on this is not super necessary down here. On the right side, there's only a few things that I want you guys to look at. And before we finish up the post, we want to look at making categories. So it's very helpful to categorize what you're writing about. So let's say you've chosen your topic and you have pretty naturally subtopics involved in it, right? So like I write a lot about living off grid. So people want to learn about off grid water. They want to learn about growing their own food. They want to learn about solar power. So those are the kind of categories I would put here. And to make a new category, you just click add new category and it makes an area you can type in. So I'd say, like off grid water, something like that. Press enter and it shows up and it's automatically clicked. You can click as many categories as you want. I recommend sticking to relatively few, like 1 or 2. And then now that that's all set up, we're ready to actually publish our work. So I'm moving it just so I can see it because there's an overlay. So one thing you can do before you actually publish it to the world is click preview, and that'll open a new tab. And you can actually see what the blog is going to look like to somebody who's viewing it on your website. So this is the preview. If you don't like it, you can close it. Or if you do like it, you would close it, make edits, hit preview again. And now it changed it. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finally published. And now we say it's good. We can just hit this blue publish button. And there it is. So now it changed the word to update, which indicates that it's published and that if we wanted to make changes, we could. We would just make the changes we want, hit update again, and now it's live again. But once you publish it, any changes you make will have to be published live. One thing also I think is good to show you is if we make a new post here. So let's say you're writing in advance. So let's say you're trying to write in advance. Like we know that people have obligations. They maybe can't necessarily write every single day consecutively. That's totally fine. What you can do is actually preload. So you can write a couple or 3 or 4 in advance if you have a day where you have more time, and publish them or have them scheduled to be published later. So let's say this is my second blog, right? So I'll just put a title and hello blog. So now instead of hitting publish immediately, I'll go up to here, the third line in this area where it says publish immediately, and click edit. And so let's say I'm writing this in advance, I want to publish it tomorrow. I would just set the date to the 25th. You can choose whatever time you like, hit OK, and now hit schedule. And the blog post will automatically post itself tomorrow at this time. So that's a way that you can schedule in advance blog posts that you want to write. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty in-depth, very basic introduction.
And really quick.
Yeah, I just rolled right through that. Now, the whole, all the courses that we're doing, the hour sessions are being recorded, and they're going to be in the members area right above the worksheet when we're done with this. So if you need to go back and review any of this, this will be there. And yeah, I'll probably end up making a little slower version of the tutorial I just did, and I'll post that there as well. So if you want to review this, then you can do that at your leisure. But trust me, it's not really as bad as it seems. If you do this 3 or 4 days in a row, it's going to seem like second nature very quickly. So here, let me put Dave back on. So. All right, you're up.
Hey, thank you, Daniel, for that. So now you have been searching for your .coms. So I'd like to, and we have someone to let in that's waiting to be added.
I believe I did.
Okay, we did. Good job. I should probably let them know. Stand by. Okay. So, so how are we doing? How are we doing with your name.com? Everybody got their name? Yes. Okay, I let's see a thumbs up. I had 1 thumbs up. Everybody's got your name.com.
Question, David.
Yes.
JadeLotus.com is not available. I tried Jade P Lotus and Jade Pearl Lotus. They're both available. Do you think Jade Pearl Lotus sounds better?
I think Jade Pearl Lotus is excellent. And that's easily brandable. When you say that in front of a camera and they find that .com, I mean, that's a slam dunk. Yeah, and it sounds beautiful too. Good job. That's a good job. I don't suppose there's a MaryTCochran.com that's available. Mary, you with us? Oh.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh yeah. Did you find your .com?
I did not. I don't have the link to check the domain sites that are available. Is it just GoDaddy? Or?
Whatever it is, Daniel, can you look that up? Mary T.
Can you just put it in the chat?
We'll just take a look here.
Yeah, I can put the link to the place in the chat. So the link was originally in the members area, if anybody's confused, but I'll put it in the chat as well on Zoom.
Okay.
The one I recommend using is called.
You can also just type your name in. You can even just type your name in. And if it's taken, like mine's taken, somebody already has mine. And so that way you'll, just type your name in .com, and if it's taken, it'll come up with something.
It won't necessarily. So the reason we don't recommend that is there's a lot of times there's domains that are owned but have no website there. So even if it doesn't show up there, it doesn't mean it's available. But I put the link in the chat. Oops, that's the.
But the goal here is to find some permeation of your name.com. So you might not find, you obviously Kim Law, that would be beautiful because it's just a few characters, right?
But it was taken.
Of course, it would have been worth $1 million right there, just because it was only 6
I
characters.
know.
So you're gonna have to find a permeation of your name that you can get the .com for that's
How
available.
about Law Lady?
Yeah, Law Lady, probably, I'm guessing that's probably taken. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
so.
find out. Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah, that's why we're going through this process into the next hour, because we want to help you get these .coms today. So especially your name and what you do. So that'll be interesting. I mean, you might. So I don't even think you could
So
probably.
basically I apologize for being late. We were having technical difficulties on our end.
Oh, no problem.
So we're just trying to get URLs for what it is that we do. Is that what my understanding is?
What your name we're getting your name.com and what you do.com. So we're kind of factioning, creating a what you do. So if you're a plumber, obviously plumber.com is not available, but you can get maybe water control specialist.com.
Yeah, I think for what you do, it's ideal if it's not a title that's already in use, even if you could get the .com, because the point of it is when people search for it, we want your thing to be number one.
Yeah.
Without having to do much work. So that's why we're kind of making up professional titles that are unique to us. So we win that search automatically. And when anybody hears about you and they search for that title, like I'm a infinite life, advisor, infinite life advisor. If they search for that, my website's the number one thing. And I didn't have to write every day to do it. It's because I own that name. So this makes it way easier. Like Dave was saying, if somebody asks you what you do, you say it and they automatically find you number one.
So, David,
Yes.
well, unsurprisingly, sexcoach.com is not available, but I did find soulsexcoach.com.
That's beautiful. Really? How are you
Coach.
knocking these out of the park so easy right now? That's crazy. That's
I'm a
2
witch.
in a row. You're done. I mean, you got your name and what you do.
Well, I have one, when I hear soul sex coach, I'm not sure what the spelling is. Like, is it SOUL or SOLE? Like, obviously knowing what you do, it's SOUL, but
Yeah.
for somebody that doesn't know, that's one, consideration. You might want to own both if you can.
And that is like, if you have the FOR in the name of what you do, it's also good to get the number 4, what you do. If it's like
The 4, what do you mean the 4?
like a number 4, like get both .coms so that no one gets to encroach on your brand, like education for the masses. Then you would have education for spelled out FOR, and you have education, the number 4 as well, so that nobody stabs you in the back on that deal. I mean, this what happens is you start making millions of dollars. What you do, people try to cash in on, steal your traffic. So you want to take some of these names that you get. You may have different permeations of them that you want to have as well to protect your brand. Like, I know we have a quantum pharmacist in the room.
Yes,
That one's awesome.
And I'm using quantum pharmacist as a combination of my name and what I do. So both are accommodated in that one domain. I've had that for quite a while. Quantum pharmacist. And also you type that in, there's only one.
Yeah,
I've been on
you're the
coast
only
to
one.
coast a
You
few
on the
times.
.com.
Yeah. And one to illustrate what you're saying, how important it is, David, is a couple of people were calling me from Europe, and I was asking, well, how did you get my number? How did you find me? and they heard me on Coast to Coast, and I refer to myself as the quantum pharmacist. And people didn't know my name, didn't know where I was from, didn't remember my name, but what they did remember was quantum pharmacist. They Googled those 2 words, and boom, it directs right to my website. And so I
Perfect
.com'd it the next day. So I got the domain the next day. And
David,
Brilliant. Yes.
so I think it was Daniel who maybe suggested that soul could be misread. I mean, I was wondering, I don't know if Rick's going to think this is really cheeky. Then I thought, oh, quantum sex coach. Then the other thing I was thinking was sex and longevity coach.
Yeah, I like quantum sex better.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
thinking.
more
But Rick,
catchy.
am I usurping your
There you
territory?
go. See,
no,
Rick, you're an
Yeah.
inspiration.
well, quantum
Well,
is a real
the other
buzzword.
one is people, yeah, it's a word that's not going to be mixed up with something else.
Yeah.
Where I've
that-
already forgotten,
okay.
I already forgot the other one you just said, but I remembered quantum sex.
Because also I'm
Quantum
into
sex.
quantum physics. I'm
Sex
into
and-
really into quantum physics as well. So
Yeah. Interesting. And that's available?
yeah, it is. Yeah, I just checked and it is.
So,
That's
just as a
beautiful.
suggestion, what about just sex physics? Or the
Sex.
physics of sex? That's more approachable to a commoner. Usually when people hear the word quantum, they go off into some la-la land.
It's
And that's
true.
one of the difficulties of the word quantum. Plus, it's a real buzzword right now, and it tends to be associated with the woo and the woo-woo. And that's what I wanted to do, associate it with woo-woo and to associate it with pharmacy, which is a medical field, scientific word and all that stuff. But I have stuff to back up what I'm saying. But for your domain, for what you do, I think the words physics is more
Yeah.
approachable and more meaningful. And you're looking for meaning.
That domain is taken. I just checked and it's taken. So yeah.
Or you can do different iterations of it as well. Add little things here and there to make it physics of sex or physics as sex or whatever.
And
David
Jade,
would know.
you are in the sort of the metaphysical end of the spectrum anyway. So
Well, what
quantum
I
would
do
be appropriate.
is the sex coaching I do, I totally get what you're saying, Rick, but then the sex coaching I'm doing is very much based around Taoism and the quantum field anyways. So
Mhm. Yes.
and then the physics of sex is taken, physics of sex is taken. So obviously someone's got that as their brand.
And you can also spell it in different ways, the word physics with an F or a Z and just different ways to use the word.
Yeah, we're gonna stay away from that, the more kitschy stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Because we want people to be able to spell it, because they just heard it on the news. They heard it on the news or they saw it somewhere, they're not gonna misspell it later. And you definitely don't want to send traffic to someone else's website. We want to avoid that. So it wants to be we all want to have most obvious spelling.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, because
I'm
specifically,
fixing to knock my internet off for a minute and then I'll be back.
Okay.
So when it goes off, I'll be back as soon as it goes
problem.
back up.
specifically,
Sorry.
yeah, specifically, I'm like a sex and longevity coach. I mean, that was the other one I thought, sex and longevity coach.
Yeah, I'm thinking that for branding purposes, I mean, that could be good. If it was me, I would break that into 2 brands. I would make one sexually focused and one longevity focused brand. So I would
Yeah, but
encourage you to pick one for now. And then
Okay.
we could do another one later, but let's pick one thing to focus on
Okay.
for now so that people
okay.
aren't wondering how you put those 2 things together. So.
Okay, because I
if you
teach
don't
how to
mind,
use your energy for longevity. That's what I teach people.
To use sex for longevity.
To use your sexual energy for longevity.
Yeah. So you don't think that being a sex coach, you don't see any separation between that and the longevity factor? It's probably the focus of your sexual coaching is the longevity.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Or are there other more sexual things that aren't associated with longevity that you do as well?
I do emotional coaching as well, but it's all related to sexual energy because you see it's all Taoist.
Correct.
Excuse me, could you use the word infinite? That's kind of longevity.
Infinite.
Well, that's kind of Daniel's. Yeah, Daniel's an infinite life advisor.
Infinite.
Those quiet girls, where there's two of them in the screen, they already have theirs done. The name.com and what they do.com. Rick, do you have your name.com? Are you still looking for that?
I've had my name, it was taken, and it's taken in several ways. And in fact, I just looked it up again to see if they were canceled. No, they're not. One is named Ricky Olson, The Art of Humor in Writing. The other one is Rick Olson. He's a motivational speaker, famous motivational speaker. So they're taken, but I have some .nets, but they're not as
Yeah,
as
we're
big
not
of a
doing
platform.
.net today.
But that's the only
Today
one I
we're
can
only-
get, and so I haven't been using that. So I've decided the Quantum Pharmacist is by far, because it does so much more in its function rather than just my name, because I'm the only one that is a quantum
Okay,
quantum
your
pharmacist.
assignment today is to find a .com that is associated with your name. Like, can you do like I had to get a middle initial?
Yeah,
Dana
I
had to do
tried
his
that.
middle-
They're taken. Yeah.
What
I'll find
about
something?
2 first initials and then your last name, like R something Wilson?
Yeah, I've tried several ways. I'll find something, but there's always a way to do it. Just dig around a little bit.
Yeah. Keep digging, keep digging. We know you got your whatyoudo.com. Drea, how you doing?
So my name is available, like my full name, because it's obviously weird. But I am gonna I recently got engaged, and so I'm gonna change my name. So then I didn't know if I should put it as my maiden name or what my name will be, or I was thinking I could just do Drea Liberty because that was available too, which would be my first name and my middle name.
And that's kind of your brand already. Drea
Yeah,
Liberty.
I mean that's my name. That's what I have it on my social media and stuff. So I figure Alexandria Liberty wasn't available, which I was kind of bummed about, but
Yeah. But Drea
Drea
Liberty
is.
is. Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
I think that's, I mean, if you're okay with being introduced as,
Yeah, I mean, that's
you're
fine.
Drea Liberty, the author of this amazing book about how to paint your toenails. So what is your what you do? Help me out there. We'll all help you out with that. What's your? Do you
I mean,
have your?
I was gonna do it. I want to do a food truck. That's been kind of my focus. So I've been thinking about doing that. Or I mean, I can do my astrology and Reiki and stuff, but
So
my long term is.
If you're going to write a book, what are you going to write a book about? You're going to write a book about how to do a food truck, which is a great idea for a book, by the way.
I mean, yeah, I can do that. I can do that in the fact that, how to do anything as a single mom, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Will be.
So, you as a coach would be helping single moms with some kind of entrepreneurial bent. Is that?
Yeah, building a business, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a lot of working mom stuff out there right now. So I doubt you're going to find any .com with working mom in it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you'd like, trying to think. Anybody? Anyone? Any suggestions?
I'd have to.
What she could do
Let's
to
see, I can look and
develop
see
her
here.
brand, write a book about women, empowering women to become financially independent. Titles? Anybody? It's a group effort here. Come on, we got this.
Okay, how about boss lady? I hear things like that a lot, boss lady.
Yeah. She's in the right group. Yeah.
Let's see. What about like boss? Like I'm looking up.
We know the
Boss
boss.
moms is available.
Boss
What?
up. Just
Wait a
please,
minute, boss
please
Oh,
mom
wait,
is
no,
available?
boss.
do not use me
Oh,
too.
no, it's
Just
not. It's,
don't use that.
sorry, hold on, let's see if I can do, let's see. What if I did creating boss moms? Is available.
How about empowering boss moms?
I like empowering. This is, well, I overuse that probably. So I
Okay.
don't know. That's great. I use it.
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
that one's available.
What? Which one?
Empowering boss moms.
Well, that is not
David,
bad.
you-
Yeah.
David, you can't take that
I
now.
like that.
Like you said.
I think that would be good.
Power
Empowering
mom,
boss-
a little more memorable. Power mom.
Power mom.
Ooh, I
Oh,
like
that's
Ooh.
good too.
That's probably
Yeah.
taken.
Short and
But
sweet.
if you can get that, that's
Don't-
the one.
It's probably taken, but
Yeah.
look.
I have positive outlooks, guys. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah. If you can get
Or-
that, that is it.
or the
Power
mom,
mom.
or the
Well,
power
people will
mom,
look up
my
probably.
power mom, your
Power.
power mom,
Powerful moms. Power.
be power mom, all kinds of iterations.
So this would be
Power mom you.
Power. And look at the power moms.
How about it?
The B power moms is, but
you're remember you're going to be answering this.com is going to answer the question, what do you do? So you already told them your name, you got your name.com. You said Dream of Liberty.
Didn't hear you.
Good job on that one. That's
Yeah.
pretty short. And then whatyoudO.com, you want it to fit with the answer. You don't want the person holding the microphone think you're trying to trick them into going to your website. You know?
right.
Give them an example of how you would say yours so they can kind of hear it.
Okay, so mine is, they stick the microphone in my face and they would say, what's your name? And I would say, David M. Masters. That sounds like a normal response, right? But that's also my .com. And then they'll say, what do you do? And then I will say, I'm a transfiguration specialist. You look up those things, I own transfigurationspecialist.com. I'm the only one. That's it. And David M. Masters, you search for that, I'm at the top. Daniel showed a demonstration during that talk video. I guess I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you don't like the first 6 search results for David and Master. Because you did your method, so.
Right. Yeah. So that's what you all have to look forward to. I mean, if someone looks you up, you're going to show up, the whole front page of Google is going to be all about you. It's pretty impressive. Okay, so what do we have? Do we find powerful mom?
No, I think that empowering boss moms was available. I think that would be good. I mean,
Okay. So you would be.
so I can do that.
So you'd be, when they say what you do, then you would want to get something that answers that question. So it would be, I'm an empowered boss mom.
Mother, boss mom, yeah.
You can say that. That's your brand, empowered boss mom. And then you get empowered boss moms with an S, and that is going to be for the book that you write about empowering other boss moms. So that's going to be a two domain brand. Singularity is going to be just about you. You are the original empowered boss mom, and you help certify or help build empowered boss moms. Good job, guys. So, Mary, what do you do? What's your to-do?
So, I'm do many different things. My main focus is real estate. I am a realtor for Texas, And I've been doing that 14 years. I also have a nonprofit within the Catholic Church to help expand Eucharistic adoration. That I've been doing for over 20 years. That I'm pretty famous for already. I'm so it's kind of funny because coming off of COVID and having these times, where things have slowed down and you have time to reassess and decide what are you doing next. I'm just not sure exactly what I will be doing in the next few years. I've been putting some thought to it. I also traveled a lot. I was in something called World Ventures. It's a travel club. And that recently was going to be bought out by something else. And so I looked into, it's a multi-level marketing called Secret. And it's products, health products, and a beauty line that's actually out of the Holy Land, out of Israel. So that kind of tied into my base that I would have from all the international travel and that with Eucharistic adoration. So I'm just not sure. I mean, the real money, and that's what I need to be building up again, is real estate. And but I've never really gone after money. I've gone after a purpose, and then the money just comes. So I'm just discerning prayerfully what I'll be doing next. But most immediately, I really need to stay focused on building my real estate business. And I've really never been a big fan, social media and all of that is fine. I do have a background in military too, so I'm not real comfortable with giving too much information on like Google and all of that. And as it turns out, that was a good move all these years because we're all being censored. And so I'm not sure about that. I serve on I'm on board of directors of many organizations, including, sorry, but that picture I have up is because right now we're lobbying Washington, DC Congress for veteran benefits. And so that's why that picture's up. But so there's appointments already set. So I'm the government affairs director for Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. So anyway, I have too many things that I'm involved in. So I'm trying to very much right now simplify. I'm trying to, same thing with my home and my life. So I don't know if I'm going to be helping people transition, maybe as I'm learning to declutter and simplify, maybe I'll be doing a book about how you do that. I'm not sure. So getting back to
the best way that we can help you out is to, fill up your coffer full of cash. So I think that if the real estate is a thing to do that, there's so many real estate professionals out there you're going to compete with. It's a tough market to penetrate because there is so many people out there who are trying to compete for that space. Now, when you sell real estate, you said you sell it in Texas. Can you sell real estate anywhere?
I can sell anywhere in Texas. Right now I'm licensed in Texas, but I am, once I get my broker's license, which I should have done years ago, but as I get my broker's license, then I could look at, expanding into other states. Texas is just such a good, strong real estate market though. And I can be all of Texas because I travel.
So if I want to buy a house in Texas, why would I come to you? What kind of special things can you do for me that no one else can do when I want to buy a house in Texas?
Well, I'm really target the military market right now because we do have so many bases here in San Antonio. We are Military City, USA. So that has been my target. Personally, what I bring to the table, according to past clients, I am extremely intuitive. I'm an empath. I actually know their houses that they will suit their needs before they do. So they feel very comfortable also in speaking with me. People just, when they first meet me, they're comfortable and they share things they don't share with anyone else. So it makes it very comfortable for them as they're buying their, spending money. Usually it's their largest purchase of their life, is to purchase a home. And for them to trust and feel comfortable is important.
So, real estate is kind of a cold sounding thing. Can you toss me some other examples, like going through a thesaurus of your heart and your mind? Another term for real estate that resonates with you would be
Home, your home.
home ownership, maybe.
Your
Well,
nest.
the word is dream home. There's home sanctuary because people need to feel safe right now.
Your dream nest.
Well, nests are for younger procreating couples. You're good.
Or
Hey. Great target market.
Or investors nest egg.
Speak for yourself, David.
What I know. Hey, I actually have to go. I have to go pick up my mom from her appointment. So I just wanted to say bye and that I'll finish watching the rest of it on your later.
Good job. All right, we'll see you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Yep.
So far, David, I did look, the domain name Mary T. Corcoran is there. Mary Corcoran is gone. And I always have to be, in real estate, I have to be very careful about using my last name Corcoran because Barbara Corcoran owns everything and sues everybody. So,
yeah. And she collects.
So, she does. She does. Gotta love her. That's one empowered boss woman.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so Mary T. Corcoran is available. As far as we have rules and regulations in the state of Texas and with the National Association of Realtors. So if I use the word realtor in a domain name, it has to have my name in it and realtor. It can't just be like realtor something, but I can use real estate or
I don't think you want to use real estate. It sounds too cold and it doesn't really say what you do. I like your idea that you're taking, that you're matching people in a heartfelt, empathetic way. And I don't think real estate communicates that very well. Home, better. Maybe dream home is too high because it might be a transitionary home, especially with military, right? So if you are an empathetic home
intuitive
matcher, this sounds bad.
Maybe there's a Yiddish word for this.
This one's gonna be good if everybody pitch in here.
I would really appreciate it because, as I said, I've been doing this 14 years, and since I really work on a referral only basis, but I'm at that point now where I do get asked to speak on real estate to others, so it would be nice to have these like taglines and all the rest that people have been doing on social media all this time. I did have, I mean, the only cutesy thing I've done is Facebook. I have a page that's Corcoran, Texas Realtor. It's kind of like, like, it's kind of like a joke off of, Texas Ranger, Corcoran, Texas Realtor. But that doesn't really,
How
What
about
I'm thinking,
less
if you
than-
took your system, your empathetic sales matching system, is that something that you could teach someone else to do?
I don't know.
I can teach them to ask the right questions that will help them to understand their client's why down to the 7th level.
Mhm. Oh, that's really good.
That's kind of a cool market, actually.
Since you went to the 7th Y, that's really good. Did you like jump ahead in the course or something? That's awesome. She's already there. All right, I like that. I love the 7th
I
Y.
already do have a book. I do have a book already, but it's about divorce and real estate. So, you know, so I decided I really didn't have too much fun with those clients.
Yeah, yeah. Divorce and real estate.
David, how about envisioning your blessed home?
Say it
Blessed
again.
home.
Envision, like you're envisioning, you're looking in your mind what you see. So envision your blessed home, something like that, because they have to have their imagination on what they want
I like,
or what they're looking for.
well, that's on the high end of the scale. You also have the other end of the scale where it's like a transition home and you want to include them both, right? I mean, or are you just, do you just specialize in dream homes, you know, the biggest, highest, best home that they'll ever have? Or do you move them up?
Well, because it's,
No, I
well,
really,
you said,
it's really client centric. So it's what they need.
Uh-huh.
that's what I'm saying. Because you can see what they want.
So they might just need a place to live, not necessarily
Yeah.
a really beautiful 3-story home with a 5-car garage.
Right, right. It's something that they
Okay.
can live within their means, but if you say affordable homes, then that is a different market in people's minds. That's, you know, people who are on rent vouchers or something. Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is your target people who are you looking for the young demographic or a more mature demographic?
I actually serve all. It's the funniest thing. So I have my base of clients, because they're all referral. They, you know, they're military members. It could be their grandmother. It could be them, you know, having to PCS from one station to another country. It could be now their kids are getting their first homes. It's really, I serve families.
Mhm.
I like what you just said, that you serve families. I mean, that's a powerful statement, because it basically says everything. You know, if there's a way to put that statement in something that's short, sweet, to the point, you know, your family's home, or
Family home
you know,
solution.
yeah, there you go.
Even
Family home solutions, he said.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I really like this empath approach. If you can incorporate this technology into the family home, then not only can it be a service that you can provide, but it's also a service that you can teach, which, you know, that can increase your income from training other real estate agents, which is, you could possibly probably make more money doing that than you could selling homes. Be a lot easier, you know, if you're teaching 100 real estate agents your system at a time on a, you know, a Zoom call like this.
I can tell you something I just came across the other day that's fantastic for realtors. There's a new product that just came out on the market that's light bulbs that I actually experienced. It uses NASA technology, and it kills odors. It actually creates oxygen. So now realtors are, you know, you have houses that you're selling that people have animals, or, you know, they just have strange odors in it. I'm telling you, in 2 days, it was like walking into a spring day after a spring shower. I was blown away. And they're like $25.
Ah.
You know? Yeah. And it lasts 5 years. And it's an
Yeah.
asset. It kills bacteria, viruses, all sorts of stuff. So you're actually making a safe home.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So that's
But back to
something
Mary's.
that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Back to Mary's thing, we're gonna. So.
Thanks. The only thing I can think of, I mean, when we're talking about that is intuitive homes.
Is that available? Yeah. Do you have a tool you can search yet
Let me
for
look.
the intuitive homes? Really? If that was available, that would be it, right?
Really?
That's amazing. If it was available.
It's available.
It's available?
Mhm.
Oh, Daniel, are you kidding me? Yeah. Wow.
That's
Are you
me.
kidding?
That's me.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You better grab that one fast.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
there you go.
Here, I'm looking right now. Intuitive. Let's see. INTU. Well, that's the other thing. Can people spell?
Google
That's
can
a
spell
big
it for
word.
them. Google spells it for them. You don't have to worry about that. They're not, especially if it's
Intuitive Homes,
available.
well,
and no one
the
else
dot
has it.
com, intuitivehomes.com is taken, net, org, and UK all taken.
Oh, wait a minute. Daniel says he found it was available. Maybe because, did
How
you
did
just
you
buy
spell it, Daniel?
it?
I might have misspelled it. Let me double check.
Oh,
But I don't think I did.
we're double checking.
Yeah, I think I spelled it with an A instead of an I. That's all.
Ah, that would do it. Okay. Oh, I was pretty impressed there. Okay. So, but we're on the right track. And
Well, how
still
about
that,
Intuitive Homes by Mary?
well, how would you, remember this is answering the question, whatyoudo.com, what do you do? So, so intuitive home, what would come after that? Intuitive home specialist. So if you said, my name is Mary T. Cochran, you got marytcochran.com, you got, and what do you do? You answer that with intuitive home specialist, and you get that .com, that you're done. But
How about Mary's Intuitive Homes?
that sounds like a cozy sales operation, like a mom and pop
Okay.
type, comfortable. I mean, that's not a bad thing. If people want to buy from someone that's likable and they can get along with, that doesn't sound like they're a corporate mogul. You know, someone they can make a connection with.
What sounds better, y'all? Intuitive home expert or intuitive home specialist? I think expert sounds like you know it all.
And do you know it all?
Well, I do, but I would humbly like them to discover that, not tell them.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
So intuitive home specialist?
That sounds, specialist is not bad. That's a really good distinction because it sets you apart from anyone else who might be a pretender. And whoever owns, did someone check out Intuitive Homes and find out if that was a website or if it's just parked?
It's just parked. It doesn't go to anything.
Perfect. Perfect. That's good for your brand. There's no competition there. And when you're making millions of dollars, you just buy the intuitivehomes.com from whoever owns it. They're not actually using
Hey,
it.
David, how about naturalist? If she doesn't want them to know she's a specialist, naturalist comes natural.
It comes natural. I like things that come
They're not
natural.
trained.
I don't know. Specialist is, I think
Hey.
we're on the right track.
What
Yes.
about, where are you located at, hon?
Texas.
Texas.
What about TX Intuitive Homes? Do you specialize just in Texas or do you go nationwide?
I do specialize in Texas.
Then why not do TX, or you could do Texas Intuitive Homes? So that says I'm doing this as a Texas thing.
So the question is, what do you do? And you would answer Texas, and you're gonna have to put some kind of modifier in there. Texas Intuitive Homes. Just have to
For your
put that into it. It's
Texas
not bad.
Intuitive
That's
Homes.
good. But I think that what you do should be upscalable, because you want to be able to double dip. You want people from New York to take your Intuitive Homes course. So, and maybe they can fight over the New York intuitivehomes.com.
So would the course be
So,
for clients or for people who are real estate agents?
I was thinking real estate agents, because they're always doing like continuing education and trying to figure out new ways to sell stuff. I think that's a really hungry target market, but I like the idea of selling to homeowners as well. Like, how can they incorporate intuitive home buying into their process of looking for a home? That's
Well, not
another
just
course.
home buying, but the seller, because the lady that I was in this program with about 2-3 weeks ago, she started marketing these, adding the lights, and she has the person she specializes in being able to sell your house quickly. She goes in and tells the homeowner how they can market their house and get the most amount of money for their home by, the simple, the old tricks of putting vanilla in your oven and things like that, the big cookie smell and all that kind of good jazz. And so now she's introducing putting these light bulbs in, and these lights, which is crazy because I own a building that has, it was originally built as a jail. And so it's literally like a dungeon with 18-inch thick walls. So there's very little light that comes in. When you put a regular light in, it takes a while for your eyes to adjust. I put one light bulb in, it was like walking from outside inside because it's full spectrum lighting. So it was easy to see everything. Your eyes didn't adjust. Okay. So everything was much brighter and stuff. So it was really nice. I'm going to mute so you guys don't hear the background.
And so if anyone is wondering why Kim is so captivated by the subject of light, I met her in 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. And she was a no light person. She was absolutely blind. And I don't know if it almost makes you a little emotional to see her eyes, because this is a new look for her. And that's something that we don't want to talk about because we don't want to distract the subject. We want to stay on the subject today so we can get everybody's .coms done in the time that we have. But definitely in the Facebook group, if you're interested in talking to a former blind woman who looks like that, sparkles in her eyes, and she obviously she's pretty enthusiastic about the light that she has access to now. Feel free to ask her about that inside the group. It's amazing transformation.
it is
Good job.
amazing.
There are still miracles happening today, and Kim's one of them. Good job, girl. Okay, so back to, yes.
I'm going to have to make a move, David.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah,
the rest
but
of, you got your two.com.
I wanted to check in with you about my third one before I leave. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, please do. Your third one, your product.
So I did a few searches, and essentially what I'm selling are sex classes, right? Obviously, sexclass.com is not available. Plus, also, when you say sex, it's like there's a certain, I don't know, but a lot of my clients are males as well. So I need to get something that's appealing definitely to males. I mean, I had this idea of sensuality class, but I'm not sure if that's going to appeal to males, because I think males are more looking for something along the lines of mastery. But how can I find something that's both appealing to males and females?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think mastery does appeal to males. Sensuality more to females. So
I mean, I found sexualsuperhero.com was available.
Yeah, that would be me. So
you can actually you can buy both URLs and have one redirect to the other. So you can
okay, but we haven't decided on one of them yet. So
right.
Yeah.
bsxgod.com is available.
So we have.
Oh, by the way, my current one is theartofthebedchamber.com.
It's awesome.
That's really lovely, actually.
Honestly,
That's an excellent title for a book too.
Yeah, I would personally, I love that one and I'd like to keep it, but
I think you should use that for your product. I do.
Yeah,
you have it in the bag.
My YouTube, my Facebook, my Twitter, everything is called the Art of the
Bed Chamber. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it is, and it appeals to everyone.
Yeah, I've got that one already.
Oh, well, you got that one in the bag. That was easy. Good job. So you're good. So you can go. Yeah, you're nailed.
Because my dogs are just complaining they want me to take them out, and plus I haven't fed them all day. So
no problem. We got you. Good job. You're done. So we can move on.
Thank you so much. Really nice to meet everybody.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, by the way,
I'm banned from Facebook at the moment, but hopefully I'll be back soon and be in the group.
And where are you located, just in case everybody doesn't know?
If you didn't notice my accent, I'm English.
And how did you get banned from Facebook? I think this is an important issue because there's so much censorship going on now that's spreading across all domains.
I have two accounts. Yeah, one of them. Oh my God, you guys are all gonna hate me for this. Okay, so I have this friend, a black guy who works in Walmart in America, and oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Right. He was basically stacking the shelves and two white ladies were standing near him and one of them had her purse and the other one kind of looked at him and said, "Oh, you better hide the purse. You don't know who's around," just kind of with a, "Oh, the black guy's going to steal your purse" kind of vibes. Yeah. And I was like, I made a comment underneath, "Oh, you guys are going to hate me." I said, "That's what we call dumb Americans in England. I don't mean all Americans are dumb, but just, and I got a 1 month ban for saying that. So
really,
really?
That's
you're not offended, are you?
No, not in the least.
We
No,
live
I think
here. We know
it's a brilliant comment. One thing I say is the only two countries that allow drug advertising, pharmaceutical ads on TV, and it's out of the hundreds of countries in the world, there's two of them, New Zealand and the United States, both which have extremely high sheep populations. So I say things a little bit. Things like that too, but it just shows you how sensitive everything is.
But you know what? The AI is designed by white American men. So I bet you anything if I said dumb black person, dumb woman, dumb Chinese, I wouldn't have got banned. But the AI is designed by white American men. So there you go.
Wow.
And the other one, I don't even know why, but the only thing I can guess is that maybe my assistant overposted in some groups or something. But
I was imagining you said way more than something like that, and I was just curious what might that be. But this is your comment is so innocent and so minimal that something like that got you banned. It was amazing.
And yeah, I mean, I think it's just AI basically. And there's something on Netflix which talks a bit about how all the algorithms are written by
I've seen that.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think, and I'm not even someone like, I wouldn't even say to someone's face, "You're a dumb American" or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I guess I just thought because he has such a small account, I didn't expect anyone to read it that would be offended. But obviously the bots were offended. So
wow.
yeah.
Thank you
And the
for
other one,
sharing it.
the
And we
other
will be
reason
talking
that
more about
sometimes-
that in the
Yeah.
future as we go along, because we are going to be developing products, which is what we're on right now. So let's go ahead and move into the product category. Does everybody have their product.com? We know that Jade has hers. Anyone else? Do we need help with this? What about, like, we're kind of moving to Mary's, if we get this part nailed down with what she does, it will lead us into the direction of her product. I'm pretty sure they're going to be related. It's going to be a natural progression. So if we get
So David, I've been trying different things, and maybe maybe I just have to be in a special little group for homework tonight myself. But so far I found Intuitive Homes USA and Intuitive Homes Global.
That's really good, Mary. You've been doing this before. I see this. You've already been attending these classes, and this is the whole thing is about how this is really cumulative, because now you're bringing all of that good energy into this next piece, and those are both good ideas. And they're good ideas because they do, they expand. You're following the expansion idea where you can grow into something beyond Texas, right? So USA or global is really a good way to do that. But I'll tell you, my concern is I want to find a way to incorporate your heart, your feeling, your intuition, your empathy into this, because it's a big part of what you do, right? You're not a robot that sells real estate,
Watch out when they make those, they'll be all over.
Yeah, it's true. So I think that's more, I'm trying to be true to you and not just look at something from the sake of marketing, but something that is gonna like separate you from other people.
Thank you, David. And everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for taking this time to think and share with my quandary. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you keep working on that, and let's visit some of the other folks for their products. So who else we got? Rick, do you know what your product's going to be?
Well, I have lots of products, as you know already. But
I mean, it's going to be associated with your book. Keep that in mind. We're going to be doing this book writing. So you want to have a product that is associated with the book so that they'll know that definitively that the author of this book is qualified to deliver this product. So we kind of want to show a chain of evidence here that's all interlinked.
well, regarding that question, David, you made the website for me, but I need to shift my name of my website or add another domain name so it's more definitive on the products, like the magnetics, as an example. So I've been looking up sites as we're talking here, like magnetics.com. But when they go to Syntropy Zone, they have no idea that has anything to do with magnetic braces products, because that's where I make most of the income right now from shows. But yes, I need something to associate all together.
Okay, so magnetics, like healthy magnetics, is going to be a part of what your product is.
Well, I thought of that, but then at the risk of being censored, you throw the word in the association with health and magnets. Well, there's an association there and a claim, in a sense, by inference, that magnets can have a health effect on the body. And with all the censorship going on right now, especially in the medical and health field, regarding what's the shutdown, I have to be careful about every freaking word I use. And so that's a real quandary for me, in particular with the subject matter of which I am in. And so that's one reason why I've kind of stayed silent for this last year. And most of the attention right now in the medical field and the health field is in the big thing that we're in right now. I don't even want to say the word because it's associated with getting censored. And so there's so much attention and overload in the medical field on that subject that anything else regarding pain relief, magnets, ambers, stuff like that is overlooked or minimized. So it's quite an interesting quandary. Yeah, and a good example was there just that one gal that just got censored for a very, very innocent comment.
Oh yeah.
And boom, censored.
Yeah.
And that's happening all through the area. I hesitate to say anything on Facebook, online about any health things because you get censored, deplatformed, shut down.
My video, we advertised the video that you guys saw on Facebook, and they quashed it. They disallowed it because it was a work from home program, and for some reason they're banning those. So I don't know what that means, but it means that when you're advertising your product and you run into things like that, you don't stop, you find another way. You know, you're like,
yes,
well, I'm
understand.
using the wrong words, so I need to find the right words. And that's what we need to do with you. We need to find the right words for you so that you can tell people what you do something for them, provide them with a solution that doesn't set off all the bells and whistles, all the
right. Well, the right words change. The right words change. The right words change all the time. People's attitudes change, and then, frankly, I don't even want to be part of the Facebook, YouTube, Google empire, which is censoring everything. Yet I have to use those folks as a platform, and it's very lack of integrity. I have to sell out to a certain amount. I got to compromise and yada yada. You know.
Well, if you want to get to the people, you have to have your feet on the street. And those are the streets.
You got to dance on eggshells. You have to have like a borderline personality disorder and make that part of your business.
So we will help you figure that out. We'll put that on the back burner for now, but just so that the group knows, we're going to post that in the Facebook group. We're going to put Rick's quandary in there, and we'll continue to work on that after we run out of time here. So. But that's a really good one. So and so basically what he does, why don't you tell us what you do? You have magnetic tools that potentially heal
all
people.
around
That's part of your
pain
story.
relief, healing things, quantum nuances and how consciousness works, how the mind works, quantum mind, just a whole bunch of stuff. How the Bible works.
But the magnetics part is your product. Right? We'll focus on that.
It's one of the ways I monetize from doing trade shows, which have been shut down.
Okay,
but,
so we'll continue to help you with that. What else we got? Kim, your product has to do with being behind bars.
Yeah, the prison. Our focus is about, I've got a couple of different things. I've actually got a book children's book called Effie's Journey, How I Became a Guide Dog, from when I was blind. And what I did was I used my guide dog in every place that we went. We took photos and put a children's book together that educates people about service animals. So I actually have that book. It's called Effie's Journey, How I Became a Guide Dog. And then we have different ones from like Effie's Journey through the different state parks and things that we went to. And what our plan is to make a stuffed animal that looks like the dog with little jackets. And then you could buy the dog, and then no matter what state park you go to, you buy the little jacket, which is, that'll say Susquehanna State Park, or all the different places. So that would be a way to market it for the national park for them to have some funds too. So that's the book that I've got. And then the prison ministry is, we started a program about 10 years ago, almost 11, called A New Path. And it's a program that teaches mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial aspects. What we're focusing on, we actually have the lowest documented recidivism rate in the nation, which means the rate of return for inmates going back into prison is the lowest in the nation. Technically, it would be 0 if they had not included one of the inmates who started in our class but got transferred to another location and did not, she only took 2 classes. She didn't go through the whole program. So she did reoffend, you know. So anyways, that's the program that we're doing. Our goal is to completely change the prison system and how it works so that it's, I'm trying to think of how to word it. What happens now doesn't work. It doesn't rehabilitate. It sets people up for failure, so they'll come back into prison.
Yep.
What our idea and concept is to make the prison self-sufficient, so it takes the burden off the taxpayers, and it takes the burden off the taxpayers, and then so that the cost. Can you take the conversation somewhere else, Bob, please? Bob.
That's good. We can hear you. If you can,
So sorry.
just keep-
Anyways, that's all I need is 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. Okay. So anyways, what it does is it takes the burden off the taxpayer, and it makes it where the inmates, while they're in, instead of re-victimizing the victims 5-10 years later when they come out, they get paid a normal hourly wage. A percentage of what they pay goes, they keep for commissary or whatever, but the rest of it goes to pay restitution. So they literally pay off the restitution before they get out. So there's no need for probation, because that's the real reason for people coming back into prison is the problem with probation. So we've got a system, but we want to do trainings. So that's the key thing is we're making a flagship location here at Lowell. And we want to take that and be able to create the trainer across the nation and completely revamp the prison system.
Okay, so you have your name.com, which we actually don't have your name.com. We need to work on that.
Don't have my name.com.
Whatyoudo.com. So how would you describe what you do if it was a job title, the work that you do in the prison system?
Well, I actually do have, we came up, the girls in the prison, they call themselves the Pathfinders because the name of our program is called a new path. Hang on a minute, find my domains. Here we go. So I currently have oh my land, headed up. Okay, here we go. So I've got icarebeyond.net, .com, .us, .org, .info.
Not any of those.
Huh?
This is when you answer the question, when they put the microphone in front of your face and they say, "What do you do?" You're not going to use any of those cute names. You're going to use a
Okay,
professional.
so we have the lowest documented recidivism rate in the nation.
Right. So what is your?
We lower recidivism rates.
But that's not your job title. So your job title would be prison system reimaginer.
I tell you what, the phone guy, my internet guy, is literally fixing to shut me off for 3 minutes. Can you jump somebody else and then bring me back on?
Yeah,
I'm sorry about this.
Bring you back. No problem.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Bob, tell them, go ahead.
Our 2 gals that are in the frame there that are being nice and calm are they already have their names, what they do, and their products.com, right? And that's Rosa and Juanita already have. You guys have your products.com? You might not. Juanita may not. She does? Okay. And Rosa, you have yours? Yes, you do. I know you have yours. Okay. Okay, so then we're kind of going back around to Mary. How we doing? How we doing with your, you've been searching all this time, right? Mary?
Yes. Well, yes, I've been digging into a thesaurus for heart-related words.
Yes.
So, but there's.
What about? Yeah, so what are those words?
So some of them are emotions, nature, tenderness, root, courage. Then there's kindness, empathy, benevolence, inclination, temperament, my goodness, affection, love.
Is love too high a vibration for what you do?
No, I don't think it is. I love my clients.
What do you think, Daniel? Would that be off-putting to someone who's going to buy a house? They wouldn't want to go to a love family home specialist. It'd be too soft and cuddly.
Well, did we decide 100% that this is going to be geared towards buyers so we're trying to get her more business for her real estate, what do you call it, profession? Is that what the aim is for this? As opposed to teaching real estate agents how to sell empathically? Because we bubbled both up. I'm not sure what we're working towards right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. What's that look like to you, Mary? I mean, what resonates the most with you?
Well, when we're talking about the faster way of making money, for me, it's always been through my clients. When I get involved with agents, I'm just like an all or nothing kind of person. So I would be spending all my time helping them, and I would not be, so I'd have to be a broker.
Passion is. Your passion is matching people to their homes, right?
Yes.
Well, then that needs to be the number one thing. So that's number one.
Okay.
And probably the coaching real estate agents are really not even on your radar, really, because it'd be more like work, right? You kind of want to avoid that work atmosphere. You want to do what you love, what feels good.
Well, I'm trying to think ahead to like when we actually are doing the funnel and stuff.
Yeah.
So, because if we went toward down the expert path where you're teaching other real estate agents, it wouldn't necessarily be like a one-on-one thing. It would kind of be like, it could be a pre-recorded like course that you take them through that teach them how you do your process, as opposed to the other one, which would be, we're trying to get you more clients in your funnel, in which case it would make sense to be more locally focused, like we were talking about before, because you're only selling in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So that couldn't really be a national thing, and that would be a hands-on. It'd be kind of a different process than we're taking everybody else through, which I think is doable, but it's a big decision.
And your process, your empathetic home matching process, whatever we end up calling that, is that something you could sort of franchise throughout the state, or would you have to do it all yourself?
Well, when you're saying franchise, you mean to teach others?
No, I mean, I don't know if there is such a thing as like a branded franchise type of like so you could duplicate your efforts by having other people use your style of selling to sell for you. Is that something that, and we would do that with other forms of business? There's so many restrictions with real estate. I don't know if that's even possible without being a broker.
Right. Well, for one, if you're teaching, most of our classes now, unless you're first starting out in real estate, most classes we're doing them online.
Yeah.
So, if I were to buy into some system that's out there like Brian Buffini or someone else, I would never meet Brian Buffini. It would be through podcasts and classes you buy into. So, but if I were actually franchising agents and sponsoring agents, then that would be under a brokerage.
Yeah. That would be a different brand altogether, because it would be brokering. So thanks for drilling us back down, Daniel, bringing us back home on that. So we're doing is we're getting back to the Texas real estate solution, where she's matching Texans with their homes using her innate skills that are unique to her.
Okay, so if we're aiming at clients, then I'm trying to think of it, what would a client want? Like, what's the language that they're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
So something like, perfect home finder, or, perfect's not a really good adjective, but like love-filled home finder?
Match.
Matcher?
Home
I
match.
kind of like the matching thing. There is match.com and people get the idea of that. But it's not a very glamorous word. It's not very love inspired.
Mhm.
It's not very fuzzy.
But matchmaking.
What about, I'm sorry, what about connection, like intuitive home connections?
I
Because that's
love
buyers
that.
or sellers?
I'm all about intuitive, deeper connections. That's really a good connecting. I think people want connection. They want connection with you as a real estate agent, and they want connection with their home and each other and their family. Maybe they get the whole package because they're working with you. That's a really good idea. It opens up some opportunities for language to use in your marketing. And
Mary, I like connections.
yeah, it's really good. You are the connector.
That's right.
The connections.
That could even be the two, so the profession could be intuitive home connector, or it could even be generic intuitive home specialist, and then the product can be intuitive home connection, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I think we're getting there. What do you think, Mary? That's good.
I like it. Okay. Intuitive home connections is that, and then the other was intuitive home. What did he say before that?
Or for the product, that would be, so you would be the intuitive home connector. So if they said, what do you do? You're the intuitive home connector, and you own that.com. And then the intuitive home connections would be your product. I think is where we were headed.
Yeah, basically, or I suggested if you don't like intuitive home connector, because connector is kind of a weird, it doesn't sound like something a person does. It sounds like a piece of electronics to me. You could go more generic and go intuitive home specialist or advisor, something like that. Whatever you're comfortable saying to somebody when they say, what do you do? And you say, I'm an intuitive home, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then intuitive home connections. So then if you're writing a book about, let's say you were writing a book about intuitive home connections, that would be targeted not to real estate professionals. That would be targeted to people who are looking for homes, who want to get a home that they can connect to intuitively, which is a higher level of purchase than just getting a place to live.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's one other one that just came up, intuitive homes from the heart. No, don't say heart.
Intuitive homes from the heart.
Intuitive
Maybe.
homes take.
Maybe. That might be a good name for a title of a book, or it could be from the heart, for the heart, from the heart, for the heart.
For the heart.
For the heart's probably.
The thing I like a little less than the other one, as far as the product, is it's not clear that you're helping them find a home. You might be like decorating, it's not as defined. So if we can morph it into something where it's clear that you're helping them look for a house, that would be, I think, even better. Like, I don't know. It could be finding homes for the heart, or finding homes from the heart. Just drop the intuitive part.
Maybe finding homes with the
heart, yeah.
Maybe heart-centered homes.
I'm writing these down. What about, peace of heart? That's what people want, sanctuary.
Peace, P-E-A-C-E.
Oh, there we go again. Though it could be spelled two different ways.
It could be, but you could get them both.
Yeah, they both make sense in this case, so you definitely would want both, I would think.
Yeah. So it would be, in that case, it would be Peace, P-E-A-C-E, of Heart Homes. So you could say, they say, what do you do? And you say, I'm
Oops.
Peace of Heart Homes. Peace of Heart Homes. Peace of Heart Homes just, it seems a little awkward. I like it, but it's a little awkward.
Intuitive homes for peace of heart.
I think we're getting a little long there.
Yeah.
Long.
Ideally, we want
For
to keep
a
it short,
.com.
like 3 words is ideal. I mean, 2 words if you can get it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's Bob Blah. Hey Bob, how's it going?
All right.
Good.
Kim had to step out for a minute. She'll be right back.
Okay. Well, we still have your project to do as well. So you have some catch
Say
up
what?
to do. We have your project to do, so we have some catch up to do for you. So we can do that later. What? Me work? What me worry? Okay, back to Mary. How we doing? We got whatyoudo.com? Not yet. Almost. Intuitive home. So whatdoyoudo.com? What's it looking like? Where are we at?
I don't know. I'm lost in all of it. And and I really have on my heart, there were 2 things, and I really wanted to share them with Rick, that, you know, with his Facebook concerns, we all have them now. And I think that we're going to be seeing in the future that people are moving away from Facebook. I mean, you know, how many times have I been put in Facebook jail? Wow. Well, I should have a badge. There should be a Facebook badge for, you know, you've been in jail. But so I'm thinking that, just wanted to share that what I've started to do, because even when I repost what's allowed on someone else's page, I get put in jail for 24 hours. So what I've been doing now is using, I guess they call it clickbait, right? In the negative way, but it's just a title of something that people who are within my sphere of influence know what I'm going to be talking about, but I don't use those buzzwords. And then they click on it and it can go to a blog or a website or MeWe or somewhere else where you're allowed to freely speak.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know it's getting pretty bad on a lot of these popular platforms.
Yeah, it's getting really, really bad. And especially for those who have spent years building up their following on Instagram and Facebook. But I think at least my conservative base, they're all moving away from Facebook. Some are even like, you know, they've got groups set up other places.
Yeah, I've seen that, a lot of those, and I go into some of those as well.
Well, and Facebook has now even gone so far as to, we have a private group called Maskless San Antonio, where people who have not been wearing masks, you know, and it's legal and it's okay, but we're even getting, we're getting their comments and people shut down in a private Facebook group. So when it says we're, you know, damaging community standards, our community is our own community of maskless you know, San Antonio. So, you know, their community standards are, that's just a ploy. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get off on that tangent,
No,
but it was
thank you.
on my heart and mind. I wanted to share
These
it,
are the
that
times
there are
in which
ways.
we live, yeah.
So for me, I just have so many names here now. This is what happens to me, David and group. I have so many ideas that I go off into these different directions and a decision doesn't get made, and then something more important comes along and gets priority. So
Yeah, well, we're making a decision today, well, you know, tonight.
maybe tonight at the latest. So what we'll do is we'll pick what are your 2 best or 3 best titles that you have so far that answer the question, what do you do? You're a intuitive home
Agent?
That works.
No.
that does work.
Mhm.
That does work.
That's great.
Why were we making it so complicated?
Mhm.
That's really good because people are going to know what you're up to. They know that you're a real estate agent, but you're not saying it that way. And it may not be available because that's pretty good. That's the answer. That is a great answer for what you do. And we know that we're incorporating that into your product.
Yeah, it's available, assuming I didn't misspell anything.
Well, that's the other thing. If intuitive is too hard to spell.
It's fine. It'll correct it in Google when they search for
Yeah,
it.
it will. They don't have to spell it right when they search for it.
But I'm an enemy of the state according to Google. Let's see.
Well, they don't know.
Okay, now that just NSA will now be listening to our Zoom call. Those are the true ones. Okay, so intuitive home agent or intuitive home broker, either one would work, right? Right.
Well, but you're not a broker yet, so that might be a problem.
Right.
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 So,
Well, in the sense of real estate, yep, broker. I'm an associate broker.
yeah, I can't use it unless you are that, right? But you can change it when you become a broker.
There you go.
Yeah. Then. So
Okay.
okay, so we have the what you do, and then your product would be Intuitive Homes for Texas, or Texas Intuitive Homes, back to Kim's suggestion.
Texas Intuitive Homes.
And then that's a pretty specific, if that is your book, your book would be about, if you're going to write a book, so you're going to blog every day, 500 words about something about intuitive homes. Like what your process is, how it makes a difference that people get a home intuitively rather than just, whatever the normal procedure is. Can you write 500 words on that? 500 words is like a page and a couple sentences.
Mm-hmm.
On a Word doc.
Right. I certainly will try this. All of this is.
There is no try, there is only do. And we're here to help support you with that. So this week, you'll be writing 500 words a day on something to do with that. And it could be any kinds of stories. You have a lot of experience in this. You can write about people who bought homes non-intuitively and what that looks like. Like you're probably not going to be satisfied with the results, get buyer's remorse. Maybe, there was something hidden in the foundation that becomes a problem later, where an intuitive specialist like yourself would have known something like that was amiss.
Well, I don't want to Yeah, I appreciate that you're thinking outside the box. I
Yeah.
can't be intuitive about what inspectors are supposed to find, because that would
Okay,
cause a
all
lot of
right. I hear you.
But
Okay.
my intuitiveness is about the needs of the buyer.
So do you sell homes to people who are looking for fixer-uppers also, or predominantly ready to move in?
Predominantly ready to move in, but I do have investor clients also. They don't think intuitively, they just think of dollars and cents. So yeah, they're just different. But yes, yes, I mean, but even with them, some of my investors, they're all over the map. I know their life. So when they're looking in a direction that really doesn't align with who they are and what their path is, yeah, I try to steer them away from that investment and remind them of what their top 5 needs are, or requirements, or goals.
Okay, so we're about to wrap.
Okay.
So Mary's got intuitivehomesagent.com for her, what she does, and her product is going to be, we don't know yet, or
No.
something
Intuitive
something related
home
to that.
investments. I don't know.
So make sure that you put that in the Facebook group, and we'll all continue to work on that with you through that process. Everybody can do that. And also, Kim, put yours in there. And then we're gonna have Rick's note about, because he has the problem with the magnets and health conundrum. He doesn't want to go to, not just, he risks not just going to Facebook jail. He could go to prison.
No.
I mean, it's weird. I know people who are in prison for the craziest stuff like that because they're helping people with something that the FDA didn't want them to use that was natural, came out of the earth.
But for Rick, what you do if it's magnets, you really just balance energy. You don't have to use word magnet.
No, I've been doing this for 25 years. I played with lots of words and energy and quantum and feel good and on and on and on and on. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to slip words in there.
Yeah.
So when you guys get your ones that you're certain of, make sure you put them in the members area in your worksheet so that I can set up your sites for you. And when you guys submit it, I'll be going through and putting up sites and getting the domains so you guys can be ready to write as soon as I get them from you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, see that? Dan's doing that for you because he loves you. He loves you. It's an amazing guy.
David, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. My name's Rosa Emlina. And it was really nice talking to everybody and meeting everybody.
Yeah.
So, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Nice meeting all of you.
Okay.
Okay. I think I go here.
Okay, so we're gonna have to cut this short and sweet. Oh yeah, by the way, so Kim, it looks like Bob forgot that he's a part of this as well, that he's gonna have his own project.
Oh yeah.
So he has some homework to do too. He'll have he's received an email with his own dashboard. He needs to fill in these, his name.com, whatdoyoudo.com, and his product. So maybe you can help him on that because he's been busy doing other stuff today. So
yeah, we've been trying to get internet here.
Yeah.
We haven't had a phone for a week, and the Wi-Fi keeps it turns off. Somebody a line broke somewhere, so we had no phone and sometimes internet. So, and they happened to show up at exactly the time the class was happening.
That's how you do it. Yeah, it's all right. We got this.
Yeah, so I apologize.
So we're all good. We'll see you in the Facebook group, okay?
Can you send me a link to that, please?
Yeah, it's in your email.
I don't know what the name of it is. I honestly, I was having a hard time finding the email because I didn't know who it was coming from.
Okay,
Is there a name of the group, David? What is the name of the group?
quit your job for life.
Oh, okay,
Quit your
got it.
job for life. Got it.
That would be it. That's us.
All right. Okay. All right, so can you move to your right a little bit so I can take a screenshot of what you got on the board? Thank you. So when's the next time we get together?
Same time next week. And then, of course, we'll be
Okay.
together between now and then in the Facebook group.
Okay, I'm having a hard time reading what it says on the left-hand side. I got yourname.com, whatyoudo.com, and product.com, but what's the stuff on the left side say?
Yeah, that's where we're doing a little masterminding with Mary, empath, home, family, military.
Oh, okay. Okay, but the home, so what are we supposed to be doing this week? Just these 3 things?
No, we're gonna blog. We're gonna pick one of these, and we're gonna.
Okay, you can
put
come
up
back
a
in.
post.
I can't hear you very well.
Oh yeah. We're gonna pick one of these things, one of these .coms, and it'll be the place where we're gonna write 500 words, like Mary's gonna be writing about intuitive homes, something about that, 500 words every day. And I don't know if you were here for Daniel's demonstration, but it's on the replay. So you can pull up the replay and it has a step-by-step. And he's also gonna do a more distinct how-to tutorial as well. And
Awesome.
we'll be dropping some videos in the dashboard that help explain what we're up to and easier way to do things all along the way. So we'll see you there in the dashboard and in the Facebook group. Sound good?
All right. It sounds great.
All right. Good job, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
If you need anything,
Thanks, David.
get a hold of us through the Facebook group. We're all going to be there. Okay?
Okay.
Love
All
you
right.
guys.
David.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.